Welcome to our community of Moshav Nativ HaAsara. I'm very sorry, this is the circumstances that we have to meet. Unfortunately, we experienced one of our nightmares that came through. Here in our Moshav, I don't know how many knows it, this is the closest Israeli community to the Gaza Strip. You saw how it looks today. You saw that it's kind of close. We hear how close we are to the border. And we experienced for the last 22 years everything that this conflict has to offer in a greater number. When you live in a small community like we do, a close community, everyone in a way is your family. But the immediate family, most people just experienced horrific hours. It started for me at 6:29 in the morning. I remember this time because every morning, even when it's a Saturday, I don't tell anyone, I go out from my home to the farm. I'm a farmer. I have a farm here in this community, and I start to walk 6:30 in the morning. And that Saturday wasn't different for me at 6:29. And when I went down the stairs just to enter my car, to go to outside my home and enter my car, it was the first explosion, the first Tseva Adom alarm, the first alarm telling us a rocket is coming. It was out of the blue. We didn't expect it. Usually when a round comes, we feel it. We know it's coming. We know things happen in the region, things happen in, I don't know where, somewhere in the world or even in Gaza itself that starts what is going to be in the next round. This time round, there wasn't any signs. It was a complete surprise. Nobody expected it. Nobody imagined it. Nobody knew it was coming. And for me, it was just another Saturday, waking up in the morning, knowing that I'm going to work. And the first rocket, the first Tseva Adom, just blew up my car in front of my eyes. And then I knew, okay, that Saturday didn't start the way I expected, but I didn't know what was coming yet. So I took all the kids. It was 6 of us and 3 dogs, and we entered the bomb shelter, and we closed immediately the electricity went down and the phone connection went down, and we were in the dark, literally, because when you close the door and you close the window of the bomb shelter, there is absolutely no light. It is complete darkness, and when you have no electricity, you are there in the dark. And we were sitting there not knowing what was going on, but we heard hundreds and hundreds of rockets coming, explosion all over the place. Tseva Adom started again and again. Tseva Adom is the red alert, one telling us a rocket is coming. Here, because we are the closest community to the Gaza Strip, we have in reality, from the time we hear an alarm coming until it's actually the rocket actually land, we have about 3 or 4 seconds. This is how we live 22 years of our life, knowing that we have 3 or 4 seconds to save our life when a rocket is coming. So this time round, we didn't have a second break. It was coming and coming and coming, and we knew that we have to stay inside the bomb shelter just to be safe. And then we started to hear the gunshot. Then we started to hear new sounds we never heard before, and it was very, very close to us. And then from the very, very light communication that we did have through WhatsApp and other things, we started to hear people calling for help, people screaming, people saying they are here, help me, please come. They're throwing grenades into our homes, they are shooting us, they are doing all kinds of things. And then we realized that we are in a completely new world, something that we never experienced, something that we feared, but we never thought it's going to come in this kind of a scale. So it was I'm speaking here and I'm trying to put it aside. I'm trying to speak like it didn't happen to me. Otherwise, I won't be able even to tell that story. How it is to know that at any second, terrorists can come to your home and brutally try to it's hard to go into a description of what have happened because it is so horrific. It is so out of this world what they did. I mean, it's not something that I think most people can imagine that people can do, and it happened to us. So I'm trying to talk about it like it didn't happen to me, because otherwise I won't be able to talk about it. I mean, in a few minutes we're going to see places that my friends lost their life in the most horrific way, in the most terrible way you can imagine. So people ask me, how can you talk about it? The only way I can talk about it is try to put myself out of the situation, because living that situation again is living that horror again and again and again. And the more I'm trying to keep myself busy in the day, it is the nighttime that I break down. And I ask other people, how you doing, how you dealing, and everybody tell the same story. You're trying to keep up with your everyday life. You're trying to imagine that you can go about things, to fix things, to create a new future for yourself, to deal with your everyday life, because we have nothing left. We don't have our homes, we don't have our businesses, we don't have our community, and some people don't even have their families. So you try to deal with whatever you have to deal with, and then night comes and everything comes back up again. The horror, that nightmare just return into our minds. So it's in a way, I'm telling you the story, but it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. First of all, we had to give, to leave everything behind. I had to leave my home behind. My family that, I lived with my kids. Now we all went different ways because we had different solutions to the new situation. I lost my job. I don't have my farm. And I ask myself, I know what I lost in the past. I know what I lost now, but I'm asking myself where the future is going to. Did I lose it forever? Can we rebuild everything? Can we establish a new life? How are they going to look? How can you come back safely to your home knowing that your neighbors can do such things? I used to make a separation before between the everyday Palestinian people and Hamas. I always used to say that Hamas were victims of the same terror organization that we were. But unfortunately, it is, because of the footage that we've seen, that a lot of those murders and those horrific acts that they took wasn't only done by Hamas, it was also done by everyday people. And they were proud about it. And you ask yourself, can you make this separation between Hamas and the everyday people? I'm sure there are still people out there that are not identifying with it. But I think the percentage, in my opinion, is much less than it used to be before. Did you see the photos? There weren't any military people. Some of them were definitely military, not military like, those trained terrorists, but the rest were just ordinary people. You can see who's acting like a military person and who's not.
What do you know?
Today nobody lives here. The community, the place is completely abandoned. We are not allowed to live here. At the moment it's still dangerous. We are still at risk. The terrorists will come and enter the place and do it again. Hamas declared that they are waiting to do it again. How many people are willing to come back? That's a good question. We don't know it yet. I can say that I will definitely come back, but I'm not sure that the entire community can say it strongly as I. Obviously we saw the people, we shared the roads with them from time to time. When we stand in the bus stop, we stand with people from Gaza, and there were, people that we thought like, the more we're going to have good economical relations with, the more they'll come into Israel, we'll get to know them more. There were a lot of people that were acting all kind of acts like driving sick people from Erez checkpoint, which is right a minute drive from here, to hospitals, getting to know them. There were all kind of people, parts of all kind of organizations saying that there are other voices in Israel, in Gaza. People were activists to change the situation, but unfortunately it blew in their face. I wasn't a big fan, to say the least, of that government before, but Israel is still a democratic country, so I had the opportunity to speak out. Either it was protesting, either it was writing in social media, either it was talking to whoever I can talk to, and this is how I did my little thing, to try and change the political situation in Israel. And I always said, that we are different, because the people in Gaza can't even speak out against Hamas, because if they'll ever dare to speak out or protest against Hamas, they probably won't be there to speak again. So I wasn't a big fan before, and living in a democratic country, I think that the people who were responsible for my safety, which is obviously the political scale, not scale, how do you call it, the political leadership, yes, thank you. The political leadership, the head of the country, so they're responsible for my security, and they failed. If you failing as a leader, you have to go. So yes, I definitely think that when this is over, and maybe a little bit before it's over, the head of this country have to resign. I can't say that I know what demands I have. You know, we definitely want to know that we can sleep peacefully at night. How it should be done, it's not my place to say. I just want to make sure that the people that were in charge on this and failed will not fail again. The people who actually murdered us is Hamas, so they have to go before. They have to go.
And we know the next time we behave different. We are training now different. We are training with all the Moshav. We are now will be stronger. Next time, I hope, if it's happened, we respond better, and I hope we save all the lives in our community. To come back to live here, we need to erase the Hamas. Not just the Hamas and all the terrorist groups. We're talking now to Hamas because we are fighting the Hamas. But there are Jihad, there are ISIS, there are a lot of terrorist groups in the Gaza. And until the terrorist group will sitting there and they will learn their children to kill from the kindergarten. I'm not. My son is not. Don't know how to use my gun. Okay, 6 years old. He's playing PlayStation or Xbox or football. In learning school about how to hug, how to love, how to be peaceful, how to be polite. In the Gaza Strip, they are learning from the kindergarten how to use the gun, how kill Jews, how kill Israelis. They are learning them to hate, and we are learn our children to live, to love. It's not it's not like magic. It's not just like people. The Hamas come to the people and told them, now we hate Israel. No, it's generation. It's not. It will not be quick solution. It's very long solution, and I hope some UN or some Americans will enter the Gaza and help them, the civilians, to bring a good government, the government who want to help them, not us. We will not want to help. Okay, we put the border. We all live here. You all live there. You have the border with Egypt. You can go out from the Egypt. If the Egypt close the border, it's not our fault. The Hamas is our enemy, and we are open our gates. And it's more than 15,000 workers from Gaza work in Israel. You have no one worker from Israel go to Gaza. I'm like Israeli. No, this is the family who want the peace. They can't go to Gaza. They can't visit Gaza. So this is not a magic solution. I don't have a magic solution. It's a very long solution.
これはシェルターで使っていたところですね。 それでもシェルターは形がまだ残っているようです。自宅の方はこのように全てが焼け落ちています。